we celebrate fathers one day of the year, and that's this Sunday. This morning's guest celebrates fathers 365 days a year. Who is he? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Beach Lighting, the lighting store of the year at 4897 Highway 17 Bypass South in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on this Saturday's third annual Father's Day celebration. And we're visiting with Wallace Evans, the Executive Director of A Father's Place in Conway. Good morning, Wallace.
Good morning to you.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning. A Father's Place is in Conway.
Well, we have a location in Conway, but also one in Myrtle Beach.
Okay, good. Forgive me, I saw that 488 phone number when we were talking about it earlier this morning. Made me think about Conway.
Right.
The main phone number goes to Conway, but you've also got a great presence here in Myrtle.
Oh, definitely, definitely. We're responsible for all of Horry County from those two locations, but our main office is in Conway.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. And for you, of course, you know the county pretty well.
Yeah, pretty well. Native. Been here forever and a day.
That's tremendous.
I love it.
Yes. You grew up in North Myrtle Beach?
Grew up in North Myrtle Beach, graduated from North Myrtle Beach High School back in '89 and went to Clemson and came back to Coastal.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Finished up there at Coastal?
Yes.
And what did you study there at Coastal?
Interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
Bunch of multidisciplinary sociology, psychology, and such.
Right. Stuff that really set the stage for taking over A Father's Place.
Yes.
Share with viewers real quick, if they may not have heard of A Father's Place, what exactly is A Father's Place?
Well, like I said, we're Horry County's Father Engagement Initiative, and our mission is to engage fathers in the positive support, and that's the key word, positive support of their children. And then the second part of that is to enhance the community support for fatherhood throughout Horry County. Because what we found is that the image of fathers has really taken a beating over the years, and we want to enhance that community image and promote positive male involvement, father involvement in the lives of children.
Okay. Some of the aspects of the ways that it's really taken a beating, that's across the country or principally just here?
Across the world, I believe. I mean, look at the typical media images. We're talking Al Bundy and Homer Simpson, sort of that buffoonish type father image. And we want to show responsible fathers that are committed, that want to be involved and that are involved in a positive manner.
Mm-hmm. And there's a physical location, or is it principally just interacting with fathers? I see there's a lot of meetings all during the week or every other week. I mean, there's quite a bit of involvement. Yeah,
we have weekly group sessions, Monday evenings in Conway and then Tuesday evenings in Myrtle Beach. But the men are in and out of our office all through the week. Each man that comes into our program, we conduct a comprehensive assessment. So we go through with the men and assess their career readiness, looking at their goals for life, and just really try to help them come up with a plan for moving forward. So they're in our offices day in and day out trying to work their plan.
That's a tough question for folks to hear. What is your goal in life? I mean, that's a tough question, so I'm sure that probably gets them off the dime a little bit, thinking, wow, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of folks probably never even heard that question.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we also make it very easy for the men. Not only asking them to have this pie in the sky sort of goal, but breaking it down into manageable steps, objectives. Say, for instance, it is to get a driver's license. Well, we're going to talk to them about, well, how do you get a driver's license? What are the necessary steps in order to do that? And then we have a time frame, and they're accountable because we do not coddle the men in our program. They're responsible for moving forward as men and as fathers, because what we're offering is a process. We want men to come in that are ready to move forward, and then we guide them and give them that support they need.
That's tremendous, Wallace. We want to get into that and into the process some real quick, but of course the real focus is the third annual Father's Day celebration this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Where's that going to be? What's the time, and how can viewers get involved?
Well, it's going to be held at our Conway office location, which is 809 Wright Boulevard, Highway 378 in Conway. And it starts at 11 a.m. and it's scheduled to end at 3 p.m., but we've normally gone well beyond that. Just free food, games for the entire family, just a celebration of fathers, a celebration of fatherhood. A lot of entertainment, just a good time for families.
Everyone's invited?
Everyone, anyone.
Open to the public? Is this free? Or
free.
Do I have to bring, okay.
It is free, absolutely.
That's tremendous.
Yes.
If they don't know that location at 809 Wright Boulevard, if they called your office, is it the 488?
Yes, the 488
2923 number?
Yes.
Okay, 488-2923. Are there directions to a Father's Place on your website?
No, but we're pretty easy to find. If you need directions, just give us a call and we'll show you how to get there.
fathersplace.org. A lot of great information on there. I know you shared earlier this morning a lot of great info on there, and a lot of these frequently asked questions. We can get into some now for viewers who may not have internet access.
Okay.
So just pick up the phone, 488-2923, to get directions if they haven't been there before. For folks who got a minute to sit here, just how easy, let's say I'm coming up from the beach to get there and wanted to attend the 3rd annual Father's Day celebration.
Well, I mean, you're coming in on Highway 501, and you will make a left at the intersection of Highway 378 and 501. And we're about 2 blocks up on your left. Can't miss us.
That's a cakewalk. Folks miss that, then you just keep driving.
Exactly.
That is great. So what will they break down over the 4 hours? Just give us a sense of what viewers would find if they were coming out there.
Well, we're going to have a small graduation ceremony to celebrate some of the men that are moving through our program and are ready to graduate to the next level, because we don't really say that men graduate out, they graduate up. And so we're going to be celebrating a few of those men, and as well as some of the other men that have shown some significant improvements and, accomplished some things. So we want to celebrate them. After that, just kind of some carnival games, the balloon dart toss. We have Dunk-a-Daddy.
Good, Dunk-a-Daddy. I never even heard of that. That's a great idea, Dunk-a-Daddy.
So if you want to come get in the dunking booth, we'd be more than happy to have you. Just come in there and we'll dunk you.
I am a daddy. I need to be dunked. My daughter would love that. That's right. And so the kids oftentimes are aspiring to dunk daddy.
Yes, indeed. And we've got some of our participants that are going to be in the dunking booth, and just a host of games and activities for the kids, face painting, and the kids can do Father's Day cards and things of that nature to give to their fathers.
It can be tough to be a dad, can't it?
Yes, it can be.
It can be tough to be a father. Which one comes first, a father or a dad? I mean, is it, you try to think through those steps. Can you be a dad before you're a father? I guess you really have to be a father first.
Well, I've been at a Father's Place since 2000, since day one, since the inception of the program. And we've had that conversation in group many times. Some say the father's the more important or the dad's the more important. For me, it is the role, who is providing the nurturance and the guidance. Whatever you name, if you call that father, if you call it daddy, whatever that's the role that men have been neglecting, and that's the role that men need to get back to, is providing all of those things. Because our kids don't have a good model of manhood. They don't understand what it is to be a man, what it means to be a father. And fathers just contribute so much to the lives of children. And we need men to understand the power of their presence in the lives of their children.
That's a very good point. Obviously, there are a lot of, you still support tremendous mothers. There's clearly great moms out there, great mothers that provide a lot of nurturing and otherwise for their children, but men can do the same thing.
We believe that dads make a difference. Not that dads are better than mothers, but we make a critical difference in the lives of our children. Because if you look at the stats nationwide.
Yeah, share with us a little about it for viewers who may not be familiar with it.
Well, since 1960, father absence has increased over 270%.
Wow.
So we've got the majority of our children growing up in father absent homes. And children that grow up in father absent homes are more likely to be poor, experience a lot of other negative outcomes. You're talking juvenile delinquency is higher in father absent homes, behavioral problems. You're talking academic performance is lower. The majority of long-term prison inmates come from father absent homes. Substance abuse, teen pregnancy, the early onset of the first sexual experience, child abuse, you name it. Every societal ill, I believe, can be tied back to a father absent home.
It sounds like a big spiraling effect or a domino there. If you were coming from a father absent home, that may position you to be in a similar situation.
Exactly.
How do you break that? How do you break that that continuous cycle, or how do you break through that cycle? It's a difference of what y'all are doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the million-dollar question, and we're working hard every day, getting men to understand, because there are a lot of barriers that men face in being actively involved in the lives of children. A lot of men come in, they've never had a dad. They're fearful of what it means to be a father, to be involved. Some of these men are honestly blocked from being involved in the lives of their children.
Blocked by?
Blocked by the mother of the children, the maternal grandparents. Sometimes they're blocked by just this thing in here, in their heart, that it does not allow them to be involved as they ought to be. So we're there trying to get them in to understand their role, their critical role, and how powerful their presence is.
How did you first get involved, Wallace, with A Father's Place? What spurred you? Was it studies in school recognizing the importance of a father-absent household, or what was it that spurred you to get involved the first time? You actually came on as, I think I saw, as a board member originally.
Right.
And then later rolled into the position there as the executive director.
Well, these men are me, and I am them. I had my first child out of wedlock at the age of 20, and I could have used A Father's Place. I made a lot of mistakes early on, and this is an opportunity for me to reach some of these men, hopefully guide them that they don't make the same mistakes that I made, that I made. And if they have made some of those mistakes, at least let's talk about how to get out of it, how to move forward, how to just pick yourself up and keep going, because your children need you no matter what, and you got to do whatever it takes to get involved and to stay involved. So that's what spurred my involvement, because this is who I am. This is my personal experience. I've been through this. I understand what it's like to be separated from your children and to be denied visitation and not be able to be the man that you really want to be and be the father you really want to be.
That's very important. I'm glad you'd share that. Of course, I know that's difficult, having gone through those steps yourself, to be in that position. I think I saw now you're happily married with 4 children.
Yes.
So clearly, having gotten through that and gotten through it very well.
Right. And there's still, some challenges involved, but I mean, that's the main message that I think A Father's Place communicates.
Right.
That it might be tough, but men have to stand up. Men have to be involved.
Right.
And we've got to do whatever it takes to stay involved.
So whether you're married or not, you can still provide a great role as a father.
Exactly.
Whether you're in a happy home situation, you can still provide a great role model for a child. And clearly, A Father's Place helps go through those steps. Again, some of those frequently asked questions on your website, what are, let's say, the top 3 or 4 most frequently asked questions you get, other than how can I actually become a father? I mean, if I've been a father or I am a father, how do I actually serve that role? I'm sure that's probably a common question.
Yeah, it's a common question. I think probably the primary service that we do provide is employment. But like I said earlier, we're about a process. Right. We offer an array of supportive services for the men in our program, from employment assistance to education assistance. We do a lot of mediation between parents because, there's difficulty, there's a relationship breakdown, so we're trying to bridge that gap between the mothers and the fathers, and sometimes we have to bring in the maternal and paternal grandparents to get them to work together for the sake of their children. But as far as the frequently asked questions, the cost is one of the key questions, and all of our services to the men are free.
Free?
Free.
How do y'all go about having all these free services?
Well, we're grant funded. We're funded through a couple of grants, one from the Administration for Children and Families, and we're a sub-grantee of the South Carolina Center for Fathers and Families.
That's great, yes. We saw Beth in town recently, who is, I'm sure, through here a lot, helped serving the area and making a difference.
Yes, yes. And the center is an offshoot of the Sisters of Charity Foundation. And they've been committed to this issue of father engagement because they found that one of the root causes of poverty is father absence. And so they want to do something to make a change, to get fathers involved. So we're funded through the Department of Social Services, through the Center for Fathers and Families, and those 2 grants really sustain us.
And just so I understand, one of those root causes of poverty being from the father absence, is that because there's one less vehicle to help financially support the family, wherein the mother, who ultimately I suspect in that instance is raising the child, only has the one? I mean, is that it? I mean, is that why, or is it just because systemically it forces that?
Systemically, that's what's forced. But you got to think, the mother, single wage earner. We all know that women earn less, and it's not just the finances. I mean, you got to think about all these other things that surround being in a single mother environment. These children are exposed to so many more negative outcomes because the mother is typically working 2 or 3 jobs. She cannot supervise as she needs to or wants to. So the children are exposed to the internet, television, and they don't have a filter. And these things, like you said earlier, it's a cycle. Children who grow up in father-absent homes are typically going to perpetuate that same cycle and end up being parents out of wedlock and just continue that vicious cycle that we're trying to break. But you know, that income piece is huge. And so we're always constantly harping on our men to make certain that they pay their financial child support obligations. Mm-hmm. That is a huge part of our program. Mm-hmm. We want men to be responsible. We're not letting any of our men slide on being fully responsible and fully involved. But we also want the men to understand that there's more to being a dad than just providing monetary support. There's so much more, that nurturance, that guidance that men have overlooked providing. Telling their sons that they love them, that they're proud of them. Mm-hmm. You know, I've got so many men that come into our program, they never heard their dad say, "I love you. I'm proud of you, son." You know, and so I make it a point to tell these men that I love them, that I'm proud of them for the efforts that they undertake. And we celebrate even the smallest achievement because this builds their esteem and helps them be the men they need to be.
We've got a little less than 10 minutes, Wallace. As you think about some of those small achievements, some examples of that are, I mean, what are some of the small ones that you celebrate, and of course some of the big ones, the graduation ceremony that'll be held this Saturday, early afternoon, but some of the small steps, is it getting the driver's license, getting that first job oftentimes so that they can help provide some financial support.
Right. I mean, you know, we do a lot when it comes to employment readiness. As a matter of fact, on the 18th, we're going to be having a vendors luncheon at the Conway Chamber of Commerce, and we're trying to get employer partners that are willing to hire the men in our program. Good. Because we're returning qualified men to the labor pool.
Right.
And the training that the men go through, getting them career-minded, getting them ready, how to get and keep a job, how to conduct themselves in an interview. We do a lot of mock interviews. We talk to them about proper resume preparation, how to fill out an application, all those things, those nuts and bolts about getting involved, getting a job and getting on that job and being a good employee. So, you know, we're inviting businesses to come out and hear more about A Father's Place specific to that employment piece and learn what we're doing for these men, because we provide, once a man is hired, there's a lot of tax benefits that I don't think a lot of employers know about if they hire low-income persons. There's some federal bonding that is available. There's just a lot of benefits to hiring our men, and we provide that after, that post-hire support, because we're always going to be there mentoring the men and checking, making certain, and helping them navigate through being a good employee.
I bet a lot of businesses would want to know that. If any of our viewers are business owners or works for a business, that they think their employer would like to know more about that. Have you all set a time for that on the 18th?
Oh, it starts at noon.
At noon, there at the Conway Area Chamber of Commerce. Real easy to find right when you cross over the bridge on the left. If you're coming up from the beach, or that would be open to folks outside of Horry County or just here in Horry County?
Oh, well, I mean, primarily here in Horry County, but I mean, we would definitely be interested to hear of whatever opportunities are out there.
Most of our viewers are in the PD in southeastern North Carolina. If anyone's tuning in right now, of course, they could find out a lot of information at afathersplace.org or by just calling you at the 843-488-2923 number. But if they were able to come to Conway for an event there at noon on the 18th, they may learn some things they didn't know. But those programs to benefit the employers, those would be applicable statewide or just here in Oregon?
Statewide.
Okay, great, or federally.
And also, we're one of 7 fatherhood programs on 13 sites around the state. So there's a site in Marlboro County, and there, you know, around the state, there's various other sites.
Another one in the PD, or just one in Marlboro?
One in Marlboro. There's one in Florence.
Good.
One in Georgetown.
Great.
So, you know, we're around, and we're all providing that same service, really trying to help men get involved.
That's tremendous. Well, I remember when your predecessor was with us 3 or 4 years ago, Michael Burgess, I believe, had traveled over from Columbia, who'd been real involved there, and I think you said kicking off A Father's Place back in 2000. So clearly, you all have grown tremendously. You probably, I guess, you've got your 10th anniversary coming up year after next.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Yeah, that is. Who are some of the other folks involved in the mission here and help making it happen? Do you have area counselors? Who are some of the ways? Is this all coming from you? Do you all have an active board? How's it structured?
Yeah, we have an active board. Originally, the Community Coalition of Horry County, headed by Margene Willis, was instrumental in creating A Father's Place. The Conway Improvement Coalition. You know, we have many other partners, Department of Social Services here locally, and other agencies, nonprofits, and just concerned community members have really helped us move forward. And You know, we're excited about the fact that we've been here for almost 9 years, going into our 10th year, and looking for new things.
Right, right. Let's talk real quick. We got about 5 minutes, Wallace, as we think about the process. Of course, helping them, as you said early on, folks who may not have a driver's license get a driver's license, who may not have a job, get those steps to getting a job. What are some of the other processes that have to go in place? Just letting them know, A, they can be active role models. They can say, I love you, as you shared with their son or daughter. Are there particularly difficult steps for a father who has a daughter, for instance, or a father who has a son? How do y'all go about coaching or being involved in mentoring the fathers who may have daughters who are just different than them, or they think that?
Yeah, they think that. You know, we case by case. We work with each man. We talk to him about his particular situation. We want the men to understand the child stages of development, so that they do developmentally appropriate activities and such with their children.
Good.
So you know, it's my oldest daughter is my oldest child is a daughter, and you know, it's very interesting to be a father and trying to engage with a young lady. And, you know, she's 16 now, and so
16,
it's you know, so that's tough. So we talk to the men about what it means to be a dad, having a daughter, the necessity of taking her out on some dates.
Good.
Showing her what it means for a good man to take her out, how a man should treat her, how a man should conduct himself when he is with her. So, you know, I do a lot of that stuff with my daughter and take her out, and we go to the movies and go out to eat. Just really have open lines, one-on-one. Good open lines of communication is what we teach the men, daughter or son. Those things are applicable. Of course, you know, with a daughter, there are some differences, but overall, I mean, these are some life lessons that fathers have to utilize.
And some of the mentoring programs, do you all have mentors there? How is that set up? Is most of how many folks will be in the program at a regular, on a normal week, let's say? Or, I mean, how many folks are meeting at your weekly meetings?
Well, we're averaging about 15 in Conway and about 12 in Myrtle Beach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
15 in Conway, 12 in Myrtle Beach. Now, are you doing all these on your own?
No.
Yeah. As
no, we've got a staff.
Director, you've got an active staff there. Yes. Wallace. Okay. And so oftentimes they're counselors. Are these trained counselors?
Right, and they're working with the men one-on-one, day in and day out, helping them work through their one-man plan and accomplishing their goals.
What can our viewers do to support fathers? What can the community do, Wallace, to support fathers?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think that really considering how you view fathers and view fatherhood. Of course, that's going to be one of the keys. We want to see fathers as being critical partners with mothers in raising children. We're important. We matter. Our opinions matter. Our perspective matter. Just first of all, just thinking about how you view fatherhood. But of course, you know, we always need monetary support. I mean, we are a 501c3, and to continue and to expand, we're going to need funding. But you know, all sorts of in-kind donations, work clothes for the participants, incentives, coupons, things of that nature to reward our men, so they can take their children out to various events. You know, some things in Myrtle Beach are costly. You know, if someone wanted to provide some coupons to, say, one of the water parks or something like that. I mean, we could utilize any of those type items, and work clothes and work boots and tool belts, and I mean, I could go on and on and on and on about the things that we need.
There's a lot of great information on your website. There's a donate page for monetary donations, a great wish list from as basic as paper and paper napkins and shoes and other, I mean, as you say, to very advanced things that folks could donate in kind, which is tremendous. And you are a 501c3, as you said. That's great. That's great. You know, when you think through those steps of ways, just getting people to possibly reevaluate their own thoughts, their own views of fathers. You say Homer Simpson or the guy from the Family Guy or otherwise. They can be pretty negative perceptions there.
And so we've got to do a better job. We've got to challenge the media to promote more positive father images. That's just all there is to it. I mean, we've got to make certain that our children are exposed to men and fathers that are positive role models. And most of all, we need the church to pray. And we do need to be undergirded with prayer for our work, because it is so important. We need prayer because we do have a spiritual component to our program. In really guiding the men. We're not evangelizing or proselytizing. But we are making certain men understand that they have a spirit, and they need to be concerned about that and how important that their spirit guides them and leads them.
The program is open to all ages?
Yeah, 18 and up.
18 and
yes.
up, okay. So as long as you're a father and you're older than 18. And is it open oftentimes to even married men, or is it just
definitely.
single day? Okay.
No, definitely. Any father in any situation, we're here for them, trying to provide the services that they need.
What do you think drives you, Wallace, here? You think about this. Was it that early experience, the age 20?
Yeah, that's definitely
continues to drive you now?
Oh, definitely. And having the opportunity to give back. These men need love, need guidance, need support, and that just I'm just welled up within to be able to be there for them, and to help a man avoid some of the mistakes I made just means so much. It is tremendous to see a man, the light bulb go on, and he knows he matters, and he resolves the issues he has with the mother of his child. I've had some get married to the mother of their child. After having all these difficulties, they decide that what's in the best interest of their children, in the best interest of their relationship, is to then get married. It's those things that when you see these happy endings, that it really means so much.
That's tremendous. Wallace, thanks so much for being with us this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
I
get out this weekend. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Wallace Evans, the Executive Director of A Father's Place. Coming up next. The place is A Father's Place main office right there in Conway off of 378. This Saturday is the event, a Father's Day celebration. A Father's Day celebration. Take the time to get out there, 11 to 3, right there off of 378. You can visit them online at afathersplace.org, afathersplace.org, or pick up the phone, 843-488-2923. I loved this testimonial off their website. I got to read it. We've seen a change in our daddy. He takes us to all kinds of places with him. He talks to us differently now. He kneels down when he talks to us. 2 daughters of a father who graduated from the program. Take the time to learn more about A Father's Place at afathersplace.org. Wallace Evans, thanks so much for making a difference. Absolutely.